Hi, everybody. Barbecue Mike, Temecula Pitmasters. Come smoke with me. It's a real beautiful day for our cousin's Christmas party. It's going to be a little cold today, about 56 is going to be the high. That's cold, but it is sunny. Now, this is a nice piece of meat from Costco, about 15 pounds, maybe about a, no, I take it back. It's about 10 pounds. Got a lot of fat on it that we're going to trim off. It's not that we don't want any fat, and we're not going to waste the fat either. Uh, we're going to render it down while this thing cooks and use it to baste, so nothing really goes to waste. Besides, we want to get a nice crust here on top of the meat, not necessarily on top of the fat. So we're going to do that. We can do two things. Sometimes we use mustard as a binder. Doesn't affect the flavor whatsoever, but it does make everything stick. I also want to use some of this Japanese barbecue sauce, and I'll tell you why. We're going to be using coarse black pepper, and we're also going to be using a Traeger rib rub, which also has a sweet brown sugar profile. But this is going to be very salty, very peppery. The Japanese barbecue sauce is sweet, and it really brings out the flavor profile. So we're going to put a little of this sauce on. I don't have to slather it, just get a little of that. It's also going to make everything stick together. Make sure we get it on the sides with our rib rub, or excuse me, our roast rub. And this is a big piece of meat, so we want to be liberal with it. Also, as the salt slips into it, it's going to start to make the meat sweat, and that's going to open up the pores to the meat. Now, what happens in that case is once the pores open up, then the seasoning slips right in, and the pores will close. It's quite an interesting concept. So that's the rub, and you can almost see it starting to dry out right now, which is good, exactly what you want. It's going to start to bring the moisture out. Now, a liberal amount of coarse brown pepper. Again, this can be liberal in, because when we sear this piece of meat, we're going to want a nice crust on it. So that's looking good. Okay. We're going to flip it over on its side, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, the roast is on the Barbie. You see the fat. The fat's going to render into some nice beef tallow. You see I have my meat thermometers. What's going to happen is we're going to cook to temperature, not to time. And if you'll look right below, that's my unit. It tells me the white probe temperature and the black probe temperature. Now we're shooting for an internal of about 150. This will give us a little bit of red in the middle, but well on the sides. And what's going to happen too is at 150, we're going to pull this and we're going to sear it. We're going to turn up this char griller uh, and to about 500 degrees, and that's what this grill is good for, because it could reach some serious temperatures. And we're going to sear it, and it's going to put a nice crust. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 nice chunks of oak. Let those start heating up a little bit. got these cherry chips that I showed you earlier. Now, since they're chips, they're going to. Now, here's a great lesson to learn. I got an error message on my char griller, and it turned out the fan stopped working. I had to reset it, but I was concerned that even if I reset it and it still didn't work, I needed to continue to cook. So I moved the roast over to the Rectech pellet grill. Not exactly what I wanted to do, but you have to improvise sometimes. Always good to have a backup. Of course, if I didn't have this, there's always the oven, but don't even say the word. Now, this grill, the char griller, can get very hot. So I'm going to sear the roast on the char griller. You can see we're right about 230 degrees. I have it set, yep, right about 230 degrees. So, okay, there's the finished product. Well, the party's starting, so I have to go. But it was a successful cook, seared on every side.